All right, this is Joseph Barbour for ESFI, and I'm here with Root Todd in Austin, Texas for Lone Star Clash 2. Todd, how are you doing, man?
Not so good. I lost in the first round to Bomber, but there's still the loser bracket. But I have to play Sheth next in a little bit.
Yeah, you had just tweeted that you got destroyed by him on your Twitter not too long ago. Can you just walk me through that series and why you think Bomber destroyed you so well?
Both games, he did an opener that I didn't really expect out of him, which was Marine Drop and Hellions into expansion, and he just did too much damage in both games. He killed a couple probes. Even it wasn't completely over after the drop and his timing, but he had a big advantage, and then he knew how to not let go of it and how to exploit it. So after that, he just secured a victory with some nice moves.
Okay, well, your upcoming series is now with Sheth in the losers bracket. How are you feeling about PVZ at the moment?
Not very good.
Seems to be the trend with a lot of pro tosses.
Yeah,
right now.
It's very difficult, but if I play really well, then maybe I can win.
In your opinion, what's the hardest part about PVZ? A lot of people say it's just, they can't get into the late game. Sometimes their cheeses don't work or any kind of two-base timings. What do you think it is with you and your play style and how it affects your PVZ?
I don't like to all-in, and I think all-ins are the strongest in PVZ, so that's already pretty bad for me. And also, to sum it up, how I feel about the matchup, it's like if you try to be aggressive on two bases, you will die to good injects and mass roaches because Zerg always has so much more supply than Protoss. And if you take a third base and try to go into macro game, they take a fourth, a fifth. They turtle with spine crawlers and infestors, and then they just get mass broodlords, and you can't win with ground army. So even if you go air army, they have infestors, infested terran, and fungal. So it feels a little bit hopeless at times, but I don't know, if I have a good build and the game really goes my way, maybe I can win.
What do you think makes Zerg so strong? Is it more of the late game, the early game, or just being able to expand seemingly whenever they want to, or what do you think makes them so strong that Terrans and Protoss can't do?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Roachers are a little bit too cost effective. Infestors are probably the best unit in the game right now. Broodlords are very good as well. But the main thing that bothers me is lava inject. The top Zerg players, they can be maxed at 12 minutes, whereas Protoss, the max we'll ever have at 12 minutes is 130, 140 at most. So I feel like it's not very fair, because you can't fight, and if you just camp, then they're tier 3 B towers, so I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. Like, need to find the right balance, but it's very, very difficult. And also the lack of scouting, it makes it very hard to adapt. So right now I just talked about if Zerg plays standard, but they can do some good things like going mutas sometimes. And it's very hard to scout because observers, they get killed very easily by an overseer and one queen. So then you will need to use hallucination, but usually you don't want to spend the gas into the upgrade early on. So I don't know, it just seems so difficult compared to in the other matchups. For example, against Terran, a lot of the time you will have the control of the Zenlaga watchtower, so you can know what's going on. But against Zerg, that's not much the case, except in the very start of the game, maybe.
Right.
So later on, it becomes very difficult to know how my opponent is mixing units and where his army is at, and that makes it very hard to get a good engagement or to adapt well to what he's doing.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the tournament overall so far? Your likes and dislikes, and how do you feel about the format of day one?
I like that they took pretty good care of us, especially with the shuttles and stuff. They booked my hotel. The venue also is pretty decent. I wish we didn't have screaming League of Legends players next to us, but I can understand how it will be difficult for them to accommodate us for this. The dislikes, probably the bracket, because I think they made it manually, so I'm not sure who is it that decide that I will be the one that plays Bomber first round, but that was not very nice. So yeah, that's probably my only dislike so far, but yeah, I guess I can understand too, because if they do a draw, then it might be all the good players in one side of the bracket, and it might make things a lot less interesting.
Right.
But yeah, playing Bomber was really rough.
Yeah. Well, how have you been enjoying your last, I guess, few months in StarCraft 2? I mean, you've moved from teams, went to Fnatic to Root. You're in California now, so you've moved. I mean, how have those changes affected you in the last few months?
when I'm at home, all I do is play. So here I got the chance to talk with some people about the game and hang out more, relax. But other than that, not so much. I mean, sometimes I really enjoy playing the game. Sometimes it really disgusts me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of benefits is there living in the Razor House in California?
Right now, there is not that many players there, but a couple of weeks back, there were a couple of players, and like seeing them practice as I wake up or throughout the day, it's really motivating. When you see people in the same house as you playing StarCraft, it makes you want to play StarCraft. So that was good. Strategy-wise, I talked a little bit strategy with them, but I think I am a better player than most of them, so it didn't really help me. But we got a new player now who just came to the house, and I think he's good. So when I return, I think I will be able to talk a little bit with him maybe.
Who would that player be?
Panda Tank.
Okay. I also want to talk a little bit more about you getting into more commentary roles. You said you enjoyed, doing a little bit of casting.
Yeah.
You've been on State of the Game recently. What do you see yourself doing? Maybe commentary or more analytical stuff with StarCraft 2 down the road, or do you just want to focus on being more of a player still?
Actually, the more I commentate, the more I enjoy it. So these days, I really enjoy commentating. So that's why I wrote on my Twitter once that I would like to try to commentate more tournaments, and Iron Squid offered me to commentate for their qualifier, and I really enjoyed it actually. I casted it with Scalaris, and it was like the first day we casted for 12 hours in a row, and I didn't see it pass by just because it was really fun. So in the future, if I get offers for casting, I really wish to try and become a better caster and try to give it a shot if possible.
How have you been liking State of the Game so far, being on that?
What?
Being on State of the Game so far, how have you been enjoying that?
Oh yeah, of course. It's always fun. I try to not go too crazy when I'm on there, but overall we can just pretty much talk about anything and give our opinions, and it's a good debate show.
Well, just I guess in the last week or so they announced that Heart of the Swarm would be coming out in the first half of next year. What are your thoughts for Heart of the Swarm, and what are your hopes for it? And do you have any? You don't have any race changes planned for Heart of the Swarm, going from Protoss to another race or anything, do you?
I'm pretty sure I won't switch race. In Warcraft, I stuck with human for the longest time, even when it was really hard. So I'm pretty sure in StarCraft I'm not gonna change that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's going to be very refreshing to have a new game. We saw Blizzard also adding a lot of stuff into Battle.net. I think they're really starting to listen a lot to the community, and I think we have good things coming for StarCraft. So I'm pretty happy to see every day all the things they've added, and I'm really looking forward to try Heart of the Swarm a lot more.
Awesome, man. Well, after this tournament, what's the next tournament for you, and how are you feeling going into that?
IPL in Las Vegas. And I don't know how it works exactly, but I practice a lot these days, and the more I practice, the worse I get. So. And also in tournaments, I don't seem to play well. Like today, I don't think I played well at all. So, and at MLG as well. So I'm not sure how to feel exactly, but I'm trying to work on my conditioning, and so far I'm failing pretty hard.
Do you think it's more of a mental thing for you, or just how you're preparing before events? Or
I think both. Okay. Like practice-wise, I do good. I practice a lot, even if it's too much ladder and not enough custom games. But conditioning and mental preparation, pretty poor job, I think, by me.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for the interview. Do you want to give any final words or shout-outs?
Yeah. Shout out to my team, Root Gaming. Check us out at root-gaming.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Rush Oddities, Twitch.tv, and the new sponsor, Das Keyboard. And thanks to you guys for having me.
Hey, man, anytime. Good luck against Chef, and thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.